billionaires have poured over $22 million into stopping Zoran Mamdani campaign for New York Mayor. Bloomberg, Ackman, Walton, Wynn, Louder. The list reads like a billionaire panic roll call. They're not donating out of civic duty. They're defending a system that's finally being challenged. And this tweet is from Brian Allen. And I think he really phrased that well. And here's the list of people here. Of course, we have the Home Depot founder, Lowe's is in on this, Estee Lauder, Airbnb, lots of Steve Wynn casinos, all of these hedge fund.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you finally realized, is there enough data for you to understand that the people who are in the top 10% do not care about you no matter how much they donate to any charity? Take away the fact that they get to write that off their taxes, would they really be giving away money? Because based on the way they act by Zoran Mamdani, flooring them for 2%, they doing all this hemming and hollering over 2%, which can enhance the life of everybody below 90% in New York. And they're doing this much fighting. That should tell you everything you need to know. We'll get to that in a minute. We've also got a governor wanting to put a Charlie Kirk memorial on LSU, and one of their superstar athletes like, what the hell are we doing? And I have to agree with her. We've also got the GOP just basically coming out and saying that if you don't work hard enough, you can't make it in America. You can make it in America. They're basically giving you the old GOP lie that if you just work your finger to the bone, you're going to make it, when we know that that is just not true. And we've also got one of my favorite content producers. His name is Luke, and he's going to show you the kind of energy we need as individuals outside of Mamdani. Politics of being black. We all start right now.
I'm up early for the dealers come out. Everybody is outside till the killers come out. You ain't eating, you just act full. I'm impactful. Dozen funerals in a month. I got that pull. I will give it to niggas in all rap forms. Ignatius out right now on all platforms.
What is going on, everybody? I am your host, Lamont Tyson. Politics of being black, where we break down how politics relate to minorities in America. And you might get a little bit of cussing, but you're going to get a whole lot of fussing. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you're hearing me on the Lamont Tyson movie and TV show review channel, please subscribe to the Politics of Being Black. And if you are hearing me on the podcast, please come check out all my YouTube channels. And if you want to just go to one place where you can find everything instead of going to all these other individual places, just go to beacons.ai/Politics of Being Black. You can even leave me a voicemail there if you want to just talk, or if there's something that you're really, really burning about, drop it for me. So let's go ahead and jump on into Zoran Mamdani. And I call him Floron because he's flooring that gas pedal, really showing how progressives can get a populist message out there that is suitable for everybody and not just the 1, 2 to 10% that have been creaming America since Ronald Reagan. Let's go back and hear what he had to say, what the ladies of the I Had It podcast had to say about these billionaires trying to take him down, and then we'll move on and get the opinion of what the minorities think.
26 billionaires have poured over $22 million into stopping Zoran Mamdani campaign for New York Mayor. Bloomberg, Ackman, Walton, Wynn, Louder. The list reads like a billionaire panic roll call. They're not donating out of civic duty. They're defending a system that's finally being challenged. And this tweet is from Brian Allen. And I think he really phrased that well. And here's the list of people here. Of course, we have the Home Depot founder, Lowe's is in on this, Estee Lauder, Airbnb, lots of Steve Wynn casinos, all of these hedge fund fuckers, and just the Walmart air goes in on this. Think about this.
So you heard that list, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the top 10% richest people who, some of them, they donate to all these charities and would have you believe that they're so damn charitable, but they're not. Most people who voted for Republicans and continue to fall for the banana in the tailpipe don't understand that when they give to charities, it is a huge tax write-off. If they had to be given and not get a tax write-off, they would be doing what they're doing to Zoran. He wants to increase taxes 2% on those folks. Imagine this. You're going to increase taxes 2% on the top 10 richest people in New York. And that would help the bottom 90% increase their quality of life. Better health care, better schools, better work conditions, better housing, a complete populist voting agenda. And they are fighting like hogs about to be on the slaughtering table to not have this happen. So how charitable are they? How much do they really care about their fellow Americans? They don't. They're telling you everything you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. And what the Democrats need to do, they have got to get behind this message of Zoran Mamdani, because not only is he getting the vote of progressives, he's also getting the vote of those that voted for Donald Trump. And not only that, my man has a swagger about himself that reminds me of Barack Obama, only he's way more progressive. And right now, the American people need more progressive. Everything has gone up. Trump promised prices would go down. We tried to warn y'all that that shit was a lie. Kamala promised that she was going to come out and give money for people to get a first-time home. I think she was going to do 25 to 50,000. That wasn't good enough. You voted for Trump. A lot of y'all over hate, and now you're seeing that your hate has a price. So, folks, post your comments. Let me know what you think about Zoran standing up for the people and all these corporations that are just like fighting him tooth and nail over 2% when they always are being fucking hypocrites talking about they love to give to charity. If this is your first time finding me, please go to beacons.ai/politics of being black. Subscribe to all my channels. You can find me pretty much on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere, IMDb, and let's do this thing. Let's keep this channel growing. Next story we're going to cover is the homegirl Floja at LSU came out and condemned the governor because he wants to put Charlie Kirk Memorial in LSU. Listen to this reporting from Unlock Hollywood.
Governor Jeff Landry here tonight, wanting to thank the entire Turning Point family, because tonight, unbelievable, over 1,500 people came to listen to Turning Point USA. Thank you. Big shout out to LSU Turning Point. And so we're here on campus next to Mike the Tiger, and we're going to put a challenge out to the LSU Board of Supervisors to find a place to put a statue of Charlie Kirk to defend the freedom of speech on college campuses. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can be the first campus to do it.
What the fuck? And Flo just felt the same way I felt. Look at this. Somebody up here wrote, and she came back and she smacked the hell out of him the way Hogan used to smack around Andre the Giant. He's a fan. I'm a fan of Kirk, but this would be stupid, Landry. Needs to stay out of LSU business. Wow. An actually Charlie Kirk fan, even though I don't like that, but he's actually saying that you shouldn't do this. And look how Floja comes back. For the sake of clarity, if you align yourself with or endorse the racist rhetoric, discriminatory views toward people of color, I respectfully ask that you utilize the unfollow option at the top of the profile. Damn, Floja. Oh my goodness, man. She came hard, didn't she? She went hard in the paint, no pun intended. I agree with her. I want MAGA to look at it like this. If someone demeans your race, if someone comes out and demeans the women of your race, no matter how much of this Christian bull job they're preaching, all that comes secondary, because you're not a Christian if you're demeaning and being racist. You're not. You're not a Christian if you're not holding everybody in equal status. And he didn't. He hated black people. He demeaned black women. And for those of you that get up here and say, oh, he was partners with Candace Owens. Okay, but who do you think he had ranking higher? Himself as a white guy or Candace Owens? And if he had to pick a white woman over Candace Owens, he would have. And we see this often with the GOP and MAGA, they have one token ass black person, and they want you to believe that that makes them a non-racist. Hell, that could make you even worse of a racist, because all the slave owners didn't think they was racist, and they had porch Negroes that they grew fond of, but they still believed they was better than them. And Charlie Kirk certainly have that. Doesn't matter how much you want to memorialize this dude. No, I am with Floja. Do not be putting statues up of this dude at campuses. No, it's not going to help. That's the problem America got into in the first place after the Civil War. They made this dumbass bargain with the South, and they allowed the South to put up monuments of Confederate soldiers who were fighting to keep people like me enslaved, who fought to defeat the Union so that I could be discriminated against. No, it's time that America put their foot down. And because we are in an America where MAGA and racists rule, it's going to be up to universities and institutes to do this on our behalf. Let me know what you guys think. First time follow me, go to beacons.ai/politics of being black. There you can subscribe to all my YouTube channels. You can get the podcast. You can even leave me a 30-second voicemail on how you feel about what we're saying. Next story we're going to get to, ladies and gentlemen, the boy Destiny taking on his versus debate against a young GOP person who says the same old bull jive the Republican Party has been saying since it flipped over in the 70s about work your finger to the bone and you too can become rich. Let's take a look at this bull jive, then we'll break it down.
Do you think this country would be fine if we were to fire 50% of the laziest government employees?
Probably not.
Why? What would
half the government workforce? Seems like a lot of things would probably start to fail or not work anymore.
Like what?
I mean, I imagine that like wait times for like if you have to call in for your taxes would go up. Probably applying for like Medicare. There'd probably be a lot more waste, fraud, and abuse, and a lot of.
Why do we even have Medicare?
Why do we have Medicare? So that old people have some base level medical assistance.
Shouldn't the old people to be able to just get healthcare on their own paradigm, on their own dollar?
What if they don't have money for it?
Well, then that's their fault. I mean, we live in a world that if you work hard, you'll get a very successful life. If you don't work very hard, you'll get a very crappy life, and you might die at the age of 64 due to prostate cancer because you can't afford chemotherapy.
I feel like there's enough money to be made in this country by people that are incredibly successful that it takes very little from them to make sure that like everybody else is doing pretty good. I think that it's probably important that the people that make the most money in this country are able to pay a little bit more to help other people who don't have access to the same types of talents.
Why should we babysit these people who can't afford that?
Because they're the people that allow the other people to function.
If you don't follow Destiny, please go check him out. But this is 100%. I'm with him, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we acting like in life we don't need help? Every single person who is a billionaire or filthy rich got help. Every one of them. No matter how much they lie and tell you they worked their finger to the bone, which they probably did, you still got help. An opportunity was open for you. And a lot of people work their ass and their finger to the bone and still can't afford the basic necessities to live and have a decent quality of life. Mind you, I didn't say high quality. I said a decent quality. Let me give you an example of that. My grandmother, who didn't have education, she basically was sharecropping for a white family in Ayden, North Carolina. She cleaned their homes. She cooked for them. They paid her under the table. She worked from 7 a.m. to damn near 7 at night and had to take care of me while doing all that. Is that not hard work? And still couldn't get health insurance. She didn't get health insurance until she got old enough for Medicare. So what the hell are you talking about if you work hard? No, folks, stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. It takes more than just hard work. It takes hard work. It takes opportunity. And it takes removing the barriers that prevent people from going up, which has a lot to do with Republican policies, MAGA policies, and man-made constructs that prevent people from getting there. As Black people, we've had to deal with this from redlining to housing discrimination to workplace discrimination. That's why they started DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we kept getting slighted by white people, especially in the South. And now that DEI has morphed into DEI for white people called didn't earn it. And you hear those stories from white guys like him because they just want you to be a follower. They just really want you to be a worker bee for their businesses and not ask for more, because asking for more means they would have to contribute more of their riches from their businesses and their tax fees. And they don't want to do that. They don't even want to give up 2%. Look at how they're crying and screaming about Mamdani in New York. 2%. 2% of people who are earning over $100 million, net worth over $100 million. That 2% from those people can enhance the life of the 90% of the people below that 10%. And they're hemming and hawing because they don't want to do it. A lot of that has to do, people, social policies take away a lot of the power from those rich and powerful, which is the sidebar that you guys need to be voting for those policies anyway. But on top of that, it also helps you have a better quality of life. So stop falling for it. And by saying this, I'm not saying don't work hard. Work as hard as you can, but understand there comes a ceiling in which no matter how hard you work, you're on a hamster wheel. And if there's not an intervention to help you get over the barriers put in place by man and MAGA and the GOP, it's going to be hard to overcome. Look at what we're dealing with now, inflation. The price of beef damn near costs more than 10 chickens. And that is not because of anything but MAGA policies, Republican policies. So folks, start thinking like this. People that work hard also need help. You think all these folks running around here that was in the WWE in the 80s like Hulk Hogan just went to the gym, worked hard, and that was it? Fuck no. He worked hard on his body, but he also took steroids. And I can tell you all that there is a steroid in every rich billionaire story that they don't tell you about because they want you to be worker bees. Post your comments. Let me know what you think. Again, please go to beacons.ai/politics of being black. There you can find all the things I'm doing on all my YouTube channels, including this one and the one I'm doing with TV and movie show reviews. You can get my Instagram, you can get my TikTok. Everything I do, you can find me there. Please share. I need your help. Now, let's go to a lady on Instagram who is funny as hell. And this story is about people thinking ICE was legitimately going to give them that 50 grand when you forgot that Trump is the person who dicked over people for years. They would do work for him and he wouldn't even pay them. That's how grimy this dude is. Take a listen to this sister. She's funny.
So ICE promised y'all $50,000 and now they ghosted you? Welcome to the Trump University of Payday Scams. Now, you really can't make this up. ICE was out here talking about, help us deport immigrants and we'll give you a $50,000 bonus. And folks jumped up ready to play Bounty Hunter. It was like Dog the Bounty Hunter, MAGA edition. But now, now ICE is walking that back. That money, gone. The bonus, canceled. The promise, that was about as real as a $2 bill with Trump's face on it. And honestly, I'm sitting here like, how were y'all shocked by that? Y'all dealing with a man who has a rap sheet, a long rap sheet about not paying people. This is the same dude who stiffed contractors. He skipped out on lawyers. This dude even sold people fake degrees from a fake university. And y'all thought y'all was going to get paid. I need to tell you something. This was never about rewarding you. See, you were just a prop for the photo ops, the press releases, the tough on immigration talking points that Kristi Noem likes to do. You were basically a resource to be used for theatrics. And now you're left with nothing but the gas receipts and the embarrassment of the fact that you got played. Well, at least you can say you learned some lesson that millions of others have learned. When it comes to the MAGA crowd, you don't work for them. You pay for the privilege of being used. Honestly, you couldn't write this as satire or a movie if you tried to. But apparently, it ain't hard taking people for a ride because so many people don't mind being passengers.
Please go subscribe to that sister on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Well said. And she's right. We all knew this. Everybody who knew about Trump and his history, we studied it. We knew that he would be stiffing people. Even now that he has the unlimited pot of the government's money, he's stiffing people. Mind you, he's building and using taxpayer money along with donations to build a $300 million ballroom, tore down the East Wing, and is going to make a ballroom that's bigger than the whole White House. And I hope that when the next Democrat gets in there, they tear that shit down or they convert it to something that represents the people below the top 10% in America in terms of wealth, because that doesn't represent us. And you know that ballroom is going to be ugly as hell, gold plated, everything looking like it's opulent, and it's going to be fake everything, because Trump does not believe in spending money, ladies and gentlemen. And you folks that signed up for ICE, you signed up to go hate on people and thought you was going to get paid. Now, as we know who live in the country, you don't really have to get a lot of white guys to be paid a lot of money to sign up for stuff like that. If you live in the country, look at all the white dudes who want to act like they're an official authority. They want to be volunteer firemen. They want to be secondary police officers. They want to be sheriffs, deputy sheriffs, and all this bull job that make them feel like they're a position of authority, but yet they have to take orders from somebody else so they can be racist, but say it's because I'm doing my duty for somebody else. Well, you people that signed up for ICE and thought you was going to get that money, you have no one to blame but yourself and your dear leader. Because as you're sitting there thinking, damn, where's this money? He's got money for a ballroom. He's got the government shut down. His ass is still getting a check, but you're not. Maybe it's time for you to wake up and quit, get that hate out your heart, and start looking at how the American people are being treated, especially those who you're going after that are legal citizens, and you're not even giving them a fair shake at this. So I'm glad, I'm laughing, because I knew better. And at some point in time, maybe your bad behavior and your bad choices in voting catch up with you to the point where you're like, damn, maybe I need to give this progressive populist a second look. Be sure to go and subscribe to me at beacons.ai/politics of being black. There you can get all my channels for YouTube. You can subscribe to them. You can get me on the podcast. You can get me on TikTok. You can even get me on Instagram. And you can also leave me a 30-second voicemail if you want to talk to me. Let's do it. Last story we're going to cover is one of my absolute favorite content creators on TikTok and Instagram. It's my boy Luke. Please subscribe to him. He's going to break down what is going on with this shutdown and the kind of energy we need.
You could not pay me to care what somebody uses their SNAP or their EBT to buy. You just fucking couldn't. Because of the laundry list of things that I have an issue with my tax dollars being spent on, that's not fucking one of them. Let's see here. Our demented septuagenarian is going on fucking golf trips every goddamn day. Our futon fornicating vice president loves to go on a vacation. We bankrolled a goddamn genocide. Oh, and let's not forget the fucking concentration camps that are being built in the U.S. that you sacks of shit gave cutesy little names to. And what you're fucking worried about is people who are on the brink of fucking poverty getting a pack of Oreos with dinner so they have something to look forward to. Give me a fucking break. Are you red hat and cousin humping motherfuckers raised to have zero empathy for anyone at all? Because all I get out of this is that you motherfuckers are looking for any excuse to punch down on somebody who has a worse lot in life than you. And half of you motherfuckers do it with a cross on your neck and you're the first in the pew on fucking Sunday. God damn! Eat a bag of shit and get fucked!
God. Luke, geez, brother. That's the kind of energy progressives need, because we feel like we've been getting beat down from most of the Democratic politicians here today, except for Zoran, except for AOC, except for Bernie, even throw in the governor of California, who's been having some backbone, and the governor of Chicago, who's been having some governor of Illinois, who's had some backbone, and the mayor of Chicago, who's had some backbone. This is the kind of help we need from individual people. Luke, you always invited to the Black Folks Cookout, my brother. You always invited. You're having not only the backs of minorities, but the backs of everybody who's in poverty. And what bothers me about white people, the ones who are on the MAGA Republican side, when you always hear them talking about how they don't want to see people getting SNAP, they don't want to see people getting health care, they don't want to see people getting early child care tuition. They don't realize that they're damning their own people, because the Republican Party has somehow or another made the Black woman and minorities the face of using government subsidies. when that's not even true. The main provocateurs and users of government subsidies are big business, Amazon, Caterpillar, Tesla. These fuckers are socializing the money and telling you who are in poverty not to socialize the money so that they can keep getting more yachts. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in for you MAGA folks that's out here mad. You mad because when you go to the grocery store and you see a lady who's got 3 kids and she's black and she's getting, 2 or 3 steaks and some potato chips. You want to govern her body because you feel like you're not getting the help. Think about where your heart is. Your heart is in hate. That's where your heart is. You're hating because you're not getting it. And you're hating because you think that she's lazy and you don't know this woman from a hill of beans. Number one, instead of hating, actually ask how you can help. Number two, if you feel like you're not making ends meet, why do you continue to vote against policies that can help you make your ends meet? Maybe America needs to be expanding SNAP, considering the way inflation has caused beef to cost damn near the price of college tuition. Maybe America needs to be expanding healthcare because of the way healthcare continues to rise. And maybe America needs to finally stop giving their power away to the top 10 richest people in the country, because you allow them to not only have the power, but to have the wealth and shape how inflation happens in America. Come on, y'all. You can do better than this. You can have better things if you start voting for a progressive populist program, which is what Zoran is offering. Bernie's been offering it. And now AOC has been offering it too. And you still want to try to vote against your interests. Let me know what you guys think. Please post me all your comments, ladies and gentlemen. If you've made it all the way to the end, you will now hear my gun plan, the Lamont Tyson Save the Kids Children Act. It is probably the most simplest, advanced way that we can shut down gun crime, gun deaths of kids in America. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, I will see you all. And please figure out how you can, instead of hate on somebody today, help somebody, and how you can use your vote to help everybody. I'm out. My friends, I've come up with a decent solution for gun violence. I'm calling this the Lamont Tyson Save the Kids Gun Chip Act. How does it work? We have microchips installed in every high-power manufactured gun and long-range rifle. And anytime that gun gets within a 2-mile radius of a highly populated area, it pings the local authorities, it pings the campus police. Hell, it can also ping the Walmart flashlight guy. And they go see what's going on, and they shut down the situation before it gets there. The next phase of this would be that we have thumbprint activated guns. But for now, let's do the microchip. The NRA, those who own guns, as well as the government, should all be happy with this because it helps all of them. NRA makes money because the government would provide the funding to put the chips in the guns. The gun manufacturers get money because of the same situation. The government should be smiling because instead of having these kids die at an early age, you'll have them live and they'll be long-living taxpayers. And rednecks who claim that they ain't up to no good should like it too, but I know what they would say. I don't want no damn government tracking me. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If your redneck friend, your MAGA friend, or whoever owns a gun also own a cell phone, their asses is already being tracked. Please share this with your politicians, your local folks who can make things happen. The Lamont Tyson Save the Kids Gun Chip Act. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody in this situation has skin